Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Space of Possibilities with Rachel. And this is another edition of the Snippets and Possibilities. I'm holding my phone because I got this one in a Kindle. How does it get any better than that? So today's amazing snippet, and I've been pulling so far 13 days in a row of pulling snippets out of Access Consciousness books, manuals from the reference materials whenever I was, delving into those, and just little things, little nuggets to open up a different space, a different way of looking at the world, maybe having a little more fun with it. So they're random, they're different, they're not in order in any way, shape, or form. There is no order in my world. It's kind of all over the place. In case you haven't noticed that, how does it get any better than that? So this little snippet comes from a book by Gary Douglas called A World of Choice, A World of Freedom. And as the world was being shut down for 2020, you were there. As well as I do, everything was just kind of shutting down and coming to a close. And I had to close my office space at that time temporarily. Now it's kind of been sort of permanent. And what would it take to change that? But my place was called Space of Possibilities, my office space. And so then I created this Facebook group where we were getting together and doing book readings and having a really grand time. And that was awesome. And that's the Space of Possibilities group. Then came other rules and regulations, how we couldn't read the whole book out loud and pause and talk and discuss and whatever. We could only read a percentage of it. So I went bye-bye on all those videos. But now I got snippets going, and I love the snippets, especially for an ADD brain like mine. So this is, and that was the first book that we had done. That was where I was going. That was the first book that we had done, A World of Choice, A World of Freedom. Right when the world was doing this, we were beginning to blow space into that. And how does it get any better? So I've got this special place for that book in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get me? Okay, good. Even if you don't get me, it's okay. I like it. It's a good. And this is towards the end of the book because that's where I opened it up to. Go figure. This is what was asking to be read. Gary Douglas. This is a telecall. So this book is based on a telecall series about having choice and choices and what is choosing. And it's a brilliant book, and I highly, highly recommend it. Anyhow, this little snippet. Just after they were talking about a Texas teenager whose grandparents lived in India, and he went to visit them and saw so much waste from an electronic technology processing plant in India being dumped into the water. And he developed a groundbreaking $20 water purifier that takes all the heavy metal contaminant, out of the water, so that it's clean and potable for everyone. And he was recognized at Water World Week in Stockholm in 2015 for his invention. And it's really, really cool. And he was able to do that because he has gratitude for himself, for the planet, for his capacities that created something greater really in the world. And so that's kind of where they were going and what they were talking about. And Gary said, regarding this capacity, you have to be willing to have an awareness of yourself and be grateful for you as the gift you actually are. How many of you have gifts that you don't have gratitude for, that doesn't allow you to expand them? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What capacity and brilliance do you have that you're not acknowledging, that if you would acknowledge it, would create a whole different universe? And everything that is times a godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all. right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What ability do you have that you have no gratitude for, that if you had gratitude for it would allow you to change the world? And everything that is times a godzillion. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And Gary continues, when someone asks, what'll it take to be the gift of me? He says, at some point, you're going to get that you are a gift, and you can't get it until you get it. That's the way it works. You get it when you get it, and that's all there is. When you have gratitude for the gift that you are and the gifts that you have, nothing else is necessary. And that, to me, is mind-blowing in and of itself. It is the epitome of everything we've denied and kind of undone about ourselves. We've more often gone to the wrongness of who we are, to the wrongness of the difference that we be, rather than looking at it as, what's the strength here? Where can I be more grateful for who I be? And what if, hello, today is the day before Valentine's Day? Like tomorrow's like a big day, but it's generally a day that's been filled not so much with love per se, but more with the judgment of, am I doing love right? What do I need to look for outside of me in order to be able to have me? And the thing is, when you begin with a gratitude for you, and you begin with the gratitude for the celebration that you are, the difference that you are, the gift that you are, even if you don't know what it is yet, even if it looks like it's so vague and it's so far and it's out there in a distance, but it's there. And when you begin to invite it in, when you begin to open up to having it, to being it, to receiving it, everything changes. Not just for you, but for the whole world, because we've got no idea whose lives we're touching, who we're impacting, wherever and however, even just by our very being, even just, especially just by our very being. So, how does it get any better than that? We shall see you tomorrow.